Slingshot people, declared to have been made in Game Guru if the stock Game Guru main menu didn't tip you off. No options screen, I instinctively clicked About instead, and the About menu is blank. Alright, let's dive in then. You spawn inside a house with some random lady in a swimsuit, and Bikini Lady, as she's known in the game, talks to you in broken English. I would want to leave this place, but they surrounded the house and did to him is not allowed. I'm not even sure what that was meant to say! I help you, just run in another house. They surrounded the house and no one to him not allowed. She loops about 4 or 5 lines and babbles endlessly. Got it. From what I understand, you have to escape the house and flee to the neighbors with a slingshot to fend off the enemies. This is a problem because the instant you step out from around the corner, like 7 enemies shoot you through the window and you drop dead. And your slingshot takes about 3 hits to down a single bad guy. Plus the enemies are too accurate for cover, and enemy bullets were knocking me around the environment, and my first attempt at strafing ran into slippery controls where I could barely control my movement. Yeah, it ain't fun. But what really fascinates me about this opening encounter is how rock stupid the AI is. There are so many enemies clustered around this window that half of them clip through the nearby walls. And some runs at this encounter, they just zone out and sit there, wondering where the slingshot pelting is coming from. So some fights they blast you the millisecond you're in line of sight, and sometimes they ignore you. This fight is pure luck. This is the first encounter in the game, and not only is it massively unbalanced, it's bugged out the ass. It'd be funny if the enemies couldn't sporadically shoot through the solid walls and hit you anyway, you cheating bag of dicks. And you only get 3 lives across the entire game, so if you get massacred on the first corner, you're in for pain. But at last I managed to slingshot the people and clear this fight, and there's another window with enemies around the next corner. Wow, it turns out you suck! And of course, a single Steam notification makes the colors go all screwy. Game Guru does not strike me as the most stable of software. Lucky for me, there's some extra health on the second floor to keep me going. Why is the bimbo trying to speak to me through the ceiling? And why does my health keep going so far over 100? Well, eventually I scoop up a shotgun and a pistol and I get to the next house and the next level, which looks remarkably similar to the first. It's another house surrounded by armed goons who hoard around the windows and shoot you to death. So I start making my way through the house for health and ammo. There's a mutant dogman thing to shoot out of nowhere. And then, it's over? Yeah, you beat this level by leaving the starting room and turning right. An entire level was just me walking 2 rooms. Level 3, I guess we're still somehow in the same house. And again, you just walk through rooms and windows with enemies dogpiling around you and shooting you to death. That's the entire game. Seriously, look at the enemies jockeying for position around the window. It's like a damn Benny Hill routine. Alright, switch to the pistol to snipe a guy. Now I switch back to my shotgun to clear up the rest of the... Wait, where the hell is my shotgun? Oh. Crap. My shotgun, the most vital weapon in my inventory, is gone. The game is so broken that it disintegrates your weapons. I had to reload a save to get my weapons back, and it wasn't long before my pistol disappeared too. Basically, your entire arsenal is a study in quantum physics. Each weapon both exists and doesn't exist at the same time. And yeah, the game has quick save and load functions, and of course, it's wildly unstable. The game repeatedly froze while trying to load games, and multiple saves got corrupted to where extra enemies would spawn when I drop into the game world.
What in the name of hell?
But back on topic, guess how you beat level 3. Go on, guess. Guess! You go backwards 1 room, and the level ends without you needing to have fought a single enemy. Guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Game Guru doesn't do all the programming for you. If you bother talking to the boob lady, she tells you there's a giant spider in the house and a lady in the basement who can explain what in the sweet hell is going on. So level 4 seems to be that basement. This level you absolutely have to fight the enemies, which is a problem because they massacre you the literal split second that you open a door. And I've only got 1 life left after the hideously unplayable first level. and then once you clear the first room, a nurse just spontaneously pops up in your face. Okay, are you the friend we're supposed to talk to? Do you actually do anything? Can I shoot you? Yeah, okay. I just got totally stuck on this level. That's what happens when the enemies are placed and coded so cheaply that you die 0.2 seconds after entering a room and you only have one life. I got desperate enough that I tried starting the game over, and it turns out you can't. Clicking start on the main menu still loads up the level where you left off, just without your weapons and with your 3 lives back. Not that it'll help with the enemies being such cheating bastards. Look at this. Look at this. They're all clipping through the walls. The AI is so unbelievably hosed. What? Oh yes. I can shoot the enemy limbs that are clipping through the walls, killing enemies without even having to go to the next area. This only seems to work if you're equipped with the Slingshot, curiously enough, given that trying this exact thing with a shotgun didn't work 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure that Slingshot rocks to the elbow or fatal, but who am I to argue with science? Finally, I blasted my way through the crappy basement and I got to level 5, and what you do in this level is, it's over. You spawn into a room with 5 doors, and the first one I tried ended the stage. This is the second or third level that I've finished by just walking 2 feet! And now the colors are all twisted to where the walls are piss yellow and the models are all black to where I can't tell what's going on. Bikini Girl looks like she got caught in a fire. The game is dying before my very eyes. Once again, you just walk around fighting dudes until you find out that one anonymous doorway at the start just immediately ends the stage. It leads outside with a parked car. And the next level after that looks exactly the same as the first. Yeah, trust me, I died enough on the first area of the game to recognize the room where you spawn, and the blow-up doll has the same dialogue as from the start. Did I start the game over? This hunk of burning ass just started over! Why? Does the game just not have an ending or a credit sequence? Did the game bug out? Was there a secret objective that I missed that gets you to the real ending? With a game this jank, I genuinely don't know if the game broke or if that's supposed to happen. Like, if I want to rule out a game bug, I guess I just have to play Slingshot people again. On purpose! What is wrong with me? So starting the new Game Plus run with some actual useful weapons, I didn't have nearly as much trouble on the first level, partly because a lot of goons froze at the realization that I had the high ground. And then there's this poor bastard who ran so far away. On the desperate 1,000,000 to 1 chance that there's an actual game here, I went through actively trying to kill as many of the enemies as I could. And trust me, that wasn't easy. For one thing, the game kept crashing over and over to where I kept having to Control-Alt-Delete out of the shitting thing. Oh, and you know how level 2 has you briefly fight a dogman thing that never comes up again? Yeah, one of my saves corrupted so that a second one got dropped into the starting area alongside 2 very pissed off additional goons. Although, to be fair, that might be tied to yet another glitch I discovered, where the game's running tally of how many enemies I've killed doesn't reset when I load a save. Being forced to play through shovelware twice always makes you pay more attention to problems the second time through. Like, I noticed that when you save the game, the music gets muted, and then I noticed that the only reason levels even have music is if the music from the main menu didn't shut off like it's supposed to. The music doesn't work either! The underwear bitch talks during the final levels about a spider boss that only appears after you kill all the enemies, or at least I think that's what she's talking about. You never know with this lady. So I laboriously shot every single last enemy in both of the final 2 levels, which wasn't easy because I kept getting shot dead as the next door was still opening, which made me reload a save, which kept making the game crash again. And all this extra work and tedium did absolutely nothing. No boss ever spawns. I got to the evacuation car or whatever the hell it is after clearing all the enemies out of the final stage. I have now played through the game twice on the same one set of saves, and it just took me back to start again. I don't think it's a bug. I think the developer forgot an ending. I did notice on my second playthrough that you can get a random person to spawn in at least most of the levels by clearing out or visiting certain rooms. And no, none of them speak to you or do anything. So maybe, just maybe, spawning all these random people triggers some kind of an end game. But the game can't even track my weapons, killed enemies, or saves. I don't trust it to track how many phantom people I've rescued, if that's even how it works. Plus, I found something in the final puke stain level that took any enthusiasm for an ending and shot it right out of the sky dead. Listen to Bikini Lady's dialogue here. You will soon wake up and start a new life. I sleep. All that you see, your dreams, everything that's going on in your head. So the game's a dream. That cheap-ass excuse plot that people only tolerate in the Smile movies for some bass-ackwards reason. Well, by then, Slingshot people is crap made for crap people, even if it worked right, which would mean it was cobbled together by someone who knew how to use Game Guru for more than just slapping down some squalid featureless cement huts down on some bare ground and calling it a day. The design is pure amateur hour. Just plonk tons of enemies down everywhere with no thought to how the player is actually supposed to beat or survive any of them. That's their problem to figure out. This wasn't a game designed to be enjoyed by an actual player. It was designed to fill digital shelf space and milk some stray cash out of people looking for a bargain. Well, that's not going to work! Except I did give it some stray cash because I'm a moron who was looking for YouTube fodder. Son of a bitch.